I don't know about you, but one of my favorite things about going to the hair salon is not actually getting my hair done. It's talking to my hairdresser. Something about sitting in the chair while you're getting a head massage, like getting your hair washed, shampooed, and getting to just talk about all of the latest gossip. It's like heaven on earth. And today, to talk about a little bit of our salon chair gossip, is my own hairdresser. This is Dysfunctional Alliance, the podcast where psychology, sex, and survival intersect. I'm your host, Nat, and today with me I have my hairdresser, Mary Beth. She has some pretty interesting things to talk about, and so we're going to get to know her a little bit. Let's talk about it.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you so much. I'm sure it was so random getting that message.
This is very exciting for me. It does not happen often
Awesome.
in my life.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm first time for everything, and I'm glad that I got to be the first.
Yeah.
So my first question for you is one that I ask all of my guests, and that is, do you think about psychology or sex more?
I guess probably psychology
Yeah.
at this point in my life, but I've certainly been through phases where sex would have won.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I feel like we all have. At this moment, I think it's surprising to people that I am more on the psychological side because I do OF, and they're probably like, definitely sex. But no, I think about psychology more. I think about the way people's brains work. Like, are you thinking about your thought processes or the way other people are thinking?
Both.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. I feel like as I'm growing, I'm getting like a chance to really be more introspective and more like, okay, girl, maybe we don't need to respond like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has there ever been any instances like where you've had to kind of keep your cool in the salon setting?
Tons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a story about one?
People say the craziest stuff to me, and there are so many times where I really want to fight back or say something, and it's tough because I have to really balance, like,
oh my gosh,
this
yeah.
is my job. I don't want to lose my job. I enjoy my job. I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah.
But sometimes people say things that deeply offend me.
Oh my
And
God,
when that
yeah.
happens, it's really challenging for me. I'm very lucky. I work with my coworker, like, reads me like a book. Mm-hmm. And she will be like, Mary Beth, I need your help right now.
Yeah, I love that.
With something. Mm-hmm. And, like, pull me out into the hall and be like, girl, you're about to lose your cool, and I can feel it.
Yeah.
And how about I'm going to ask you to do a shampoo for me, and while you're doing that shampoo for me, I'm going to step in and take care of your client for just a few minutes.
I love that. That's honestly such good teamwork. And
Yes.
honestly, it's also just like the way that women have each other's back, like being a girl's girl. I feel like that's a really good example of being a girl's girl, especially in the salon setting. I'm sure it can get so catty, but especially, like I said, you do get a lot of, like, I'm sure a lot of people are saying just like whatever's on their mind.
Yeah, people have, we're living in a very polarized time where people have some really deeply held beliefs that don't align with my values. And sometimes I find that really challenging.
I don't know if I could do it. I genuinely think I probably would lose my job. Like,
yeah, for the most part, I'm like, go off, queen. Like, tell me whatever you want to tell me.
Yeah.
Especially if it's just hot goss. And
yeah, for sure.
But, like, I'm thinking of a specific person who decided it was appropriate to use the N-word in front of me, and in respect to Ms. Kamala Harris.
Oh my
And
God.
I had no time for it. I had no tolerance for it. I just basically stopped what I was doing, turned the blow dryer off, turned off everything, and said, I can't.
Yeah, I love that.
I can't.
Good
like,
for
that's
you.
a line, and you've crossed it.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like, we're
such a
not going to
boundary.
speak that way.
It's disgusting.
In the salon, period.
It's disgusting to think that it's okay to say that to, like, just somebody who's doing your hair. Like, I don't know why anyone would think that
Yeah.
just like your local hairdresser is going to hold obviously a very racially motivated, very racist belief. That's insane.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really do assume they're in like-minded company at all times because they've so firmly believe they're right. And this is the psychology part, that when you believe in what you're saying and what you're doing, you believe that other people also agree with that.
It's like also like cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Like you're really trying. I think right now, like especially like you said, it's very polarizing.
Yeah.
But we also have social media, which polarizes it even more, because now these people that hold all of these beliefs, they would think that just everyone holds that same belief because everybody on their circle on the internet also holds that belief.
Yeah.
And so they're like missing all of the people that are like firmly against it.
Right.
And that could lead to such uncomfortable situations. Did she leave without getting her hair done?
No, we were almost done when it happened. So I had already colored and cut, and we were just in the blow dry phase.
Heard.
So I did make it clear that we were not going to use that language and that we were going to change the subject.
Yeah.
But it was only maybe another 5 to 10 minutes
Yeah,
before
for sure.
she
Like
was...
you're this far in.
Yeah. We were really close to the finish line, and I was going to cross it and get my money because that's like...
get paid for
right,
sure.
like that's the least.
I totally agree for sure.
Like if you're 10 minutes in and I kick you out, like no harm, no foul.
Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't do anything to really like need, like you don't need to pay me. It's
Right.
fine. I've only been here for a few minutes. But yeah,
But then
I totally
I
get you.
I did go home and I kind of did a self-assessment, like, what did I do in that hour and a half leading up to that made her feel safe and comfortable
Yeah,
to share that with me?
the sad thing is you probably didn't do anything except the fact that you're a white woman too. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like,
Yeah,
she
it could be just
probably
that.
was like, well, we're in this area, and
Right.
probably all of her friends, they probably hold the same standpoint. So it probably really got to a point where you actually did the opposite. You didn't do anything except be like yourself, and you're an inviting person who's like seems friendly. So she ended up linking you in with one of her friends.
Yeah.
And it's really sad that people are just associating that, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
It's a crazy-
It's been
it's
a
a crazy
learning
time.
experience for me. You know, I worked in Chicago, I worked in Los Angeles. To come to rural Ohio, you're just, what's the
culture
word?
shock.
Yeah, it is a little bit, but also like the social norms are just different. And it is a really mixed bag.
Oh yeah. I really want to move like to the West Coast. I just want to live in a blue state. Like literally that is one of my like caveats for where we end up moving is like just take me somewhere blue. Take me somewhere where the majority of people hold the same beliefs as me, especially right now, which like not sorry to get too political or anything, but I feel like there is just such a lack of empathy, like politically motivated lack of empathy.
Are you political on
And
your social media stuff and on your...
On my podcast, I'm pretty political.
Okay.
Like I talk about my views and stuff, so I'm not against it. On my Facebook, I'm wildly political.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on my Instagram, I'm not like super political. I post stuff on my story and stuff like that, but I try to just keep it all within niche. But with my story, I am very like...
How does that feel for you when you're trying to like grow your audience and grow your fan base? Do you feel like you might be ostracizing some people or not inviting everybody into the conversation?
I feel like I just make it like for podcasts specifically you're speaking.
Or really, honestly, across all of your platforms,
I'm
you're
like-
such an entrepreneur.
With Instagram, I'm like, I feel like it helps me with my growth. A lot of times your stories do get a lot of push, especially if you have like some viral videos going and I share like really intense political stuff on there. Like I put like you can definitely see like where my standpoints and my viewpoints lie. And I just feel like my image on Instagram isn't politically speaking very much at all. I talk about it a little bit with like Medicaid and like things like that because I do have a disability.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that's a point where I can step in and like it's within my reach. But otherwise, I'm like, the people that are following me on Instagram specifically aren't really they're not even going to think about any political beliefs because they're there just looking for like a hot girl.
Right.
So in that
Like,
way,
are you
I'm
worried that might affect your business? Like, if they see you as being like I don't know, like a specifically political
So yeah, I'm not
thick
afraid
girl
of it.
with a butt.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of it. I'm like, bring it on. That's why I talk about it on the podcast, because I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, we can talk about, like, we can really get into it. I have some very firm beliefs about
Sure.
about things. But yeah, I'm just like, I don't want any arguments. I don't want to like purposely start some drama that
Yeah.
doesn't need to happen. Like, especially when it is so like because I'm a black woman, racially motivated a lot of times.
Sure.
When the election was happening and I would post about like going to vote and like posting that I was voting, the amount of times that I got called hard R in my DM requests was
Because-
insane.
For voting?
Yeah, well, not even for voting. They were just like, "You're black. You're voting for Kamala." Like it was just specifically because I was a black person.
But would
'Cause
those, if you had said I'm voting for Trump, would those same people have been upset with you for voting?
They wouldn't have even known who I was voting for, because they probably wouldn't have ever read a caption. They would have seen that I'm black and been like, "She's not."
Yeah.
I could be like one of those. I'm gonna be a little. This is where I might ostracize some people. I could be like one of those people that I think is like pretty freaking strange. That's like black people that
There
like
are.
go super hard for
Yeah.
Trump. I could be one of those. You would never know, because
Well, and then, you'd hear, she's one of the good ones.
exactly. And that's the thing. That's the
Which
thi-
is the creepiest.
like literally I'm like, what do you mean? I've
Right.
actually heard things like that. Like growing up, I went to like an all white school.
Oh,
And
so you were one of the good ones.
Yeah. And so people like literally looked at me like, "Oh, she's the black one." But then I had a darker skinned girl in my school come, and she was so beautiful. Like literally so stunning, perfect skin, like just beautiful. And suddenly I was like I guess maybe a bit more desirable, because I was like a comparison. It's where like the colorism really comes in. And I like to talk about colorism a lot too, because I think it's pretty insane, honestly. But
yes.
yeah, people started to be like, "Oh my God, well you're not that ugly for a black girl. You're kind of pretty for a black girl," and just like those types of comments. My first boyfriend, I don't know if I've said this on my podcast yet, but my first boyfriend when I was in 6th grade, I was dating this white boy, and we started dating the one day and everything was fine, because like dating 6th
Right.
grade. And so we started dating. The next day he came to school and he was like, "Hey, you can't be my girlfriend. We have to break up." I was like, "What? Why?" And he was like, "I didn't know you were black. I thought you were just really tan." And I was like, "Okay."
Neat.
Like, I was like, "Okay, I guess that makes sense if you say so." But that was like one of the I had already noticed the differences in like how I was treated because I was the only black girl. But that was like the first time that I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm undesirable because I'm a black girl." Like, and then I started to think that.
And you
I was
hadn't
like,
gotten that message before. This was like,
yeah, I guess I hadn't gotten that message. I just more so got like you're different because you're black. Like,
Sure.
not so much like you're
different good or different bad,
yeah,
just different.
different bad. It was definitely like you're
different
like,
bad.
Yeah, like
And
I
now
was,
we know what that means. Different
Exactly.
bad is also
Yeah.
undesirable and unattractive.
Exactly. It was like different bad must mean I'm ugly now.
Right.
Like he kind of like proved it to me. I'm so glad I got past that, but it did take a while. It took a while, and a lot of being like very what's the word? Like fetishized, because again, I
Yeah.
went to multiple like predominantly white schools where I was like one of 3 black people.
Yeah.
And at that school, it was so weird. Like, it was like guys would like want to sleep with me and like want to send me like crazy messages and stuff like that, but they would never like
They don't
just
wanna
wanted
bring you to prom.
Yeah, they were just like, they wanted to like see what the black girl was like, and I was like, that's fucking crazy. And I actually did find out that was like a conversation that was had, was that
Sure.
we just wanted to see what the black girl was like. That's insane.
I will say obviously I'm white. My window that I kind of see otherism and see oppression in different communities has always been that I've always been big.
Yeah.
And so growing up as like a fat girl, very similar
Yeah.
experience
Yeah.
of like, you're different, know you're other, you're not really sure exactly what that means
Yeah.
until some
Someone points it out
little
to you.
idiot.
Exactly.
Some 11-year-old boy.
Literally.
You know? Like,
literally. And like their brains are the size of like
yeah.
golf balls anyways. They're only like little kids. But that shit, like literally it had some like play in the decisions I made for a while. Like until I was like, I had to like get it over that myself and be like, okay, they're the idiots. Like they're the ones that were like dumb and like kind of just.
But you can't, once you know that the world functions that way, you can't go back to ignoring it.
Oh,
or
yeah, no.
living in some sort of ignorance where you believe that the world doesn't operate that way.
That's why I started embracing it. Like I was like, yeah, I am the only black girl in this room. So what? Because a lot of times it's not like a topic of conversation. It's only like a topic of like, there's only like an uncomfort, like a discomfort when there's somebody there that like has the desire to make their discomfort. Like I have had moments like even in like family situations, and I won't go into detail, but just like family situations where I'm being called, like I'm not even being called. Just like the hard R is being randomly dispersed throughout conversations while I'm in the room. And so I'm like, there's no reason for you to be inserting this into your conversation at all.
White people?
Yeah. No reason for you to be inserting yourself into the situation at all. Or into
They have no context for being told that there's anything off limits to them, right? No context for it. So the second someone says, hey, that's a word you shouldn't use, every little, I don't know, cell in their body fires up and is like, I don't get told no.
Yeah,
I tell other people no.
Exactly.
I set the rules. No one else gets to impose
generational.
a rule onto me. And because of that feeling, they want to do it more.
Yep.
Like they had no reason to ever say the word in the first place.
Literally.
They probably didn't.
Literally.
Until the second somebody said you're not supposed to do that, at which point they're like, nobody tells me what to do.
I think it's like that instance in particular, I think it was literally said just like, I don't think it would have been added to the sentence if I wasn't in the room.
It wouldn't.
Like it was just specifically.
It's also a litmus test where they're trying to see how cool you are.
Exactly. And I'm like,
which is so fucked up.
I'm always like, not cool with it. Don't do it.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you continue to do it, then you can't be around me. Like,
yes.
At all. Like, I'm already like a little bit like, but then I'm immediately like, okay, I'm cool on this.
Yeah. It's tough. I can't really fully imagine.
Yeah. And it's so rampant right now. Like, I didn't really realize it until I started. I mean, I realized it, but like the depth of it when I started doing social media, I realized how like crazy it is.
I'm actually like really proud of you for putting yourself out there in the way that you do. I genuinely, it's like my biggest fear.
It is. It's pretty.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Like I've online dated and I know what men say in that capacity. So I really can't imagine putting myself out there and being like, I think I'm sexy. You should look at me because I know I'm sexy.
Yeah.
And because I know the pushback I got when I just said, I would like to date someone.
Yeah.
Like literally just saying, you know what sounds nice to me is like having the exact same life that skinny girls have.
Yeah. That's so like
that sounds awesome.
It's so insane.
And men were like, how dare you? How dare you? That is unacceptable.
Also, you look amazing. I'd like to throw that in there. You look so amazing. But the fact that anybody could even get up in arms about you wanting to go on a date is insane.
Well, you know, I'm a child of the 90s and the beauty standard was different.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I'm 6 feet tall and I weigh 200 pounds and that is a man. For most men, that's a man.
Yeah.
And I honestly, this is also during like the gay panic.
Yeah.
And the AIDS panic. So anything a man would do that would make him seem gay,
for sure.
i.e. being attracted to a woman who is as big as he is or bigger than he is.
That's honestly
it's really just belays their insecurity. Like, I'm not here to discuss men's insecurities, but
Exactly.
but that how then I experienced that was just as straight up rejection
Yeah.
and humiliation over and over and over and over.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
And
That's
then
so shitty.
nobody really ever being able to say it out loud or put their finger on it, right? So it was also this gaslighting of all your friends and family are telling you, oh my God, you're so beautiful. You're amazing.
Yeah.
Like, even boys being like, I love you. I think you're like the most interesting person I've ever met. You're the most unique person I've ever met. I've never felt closer to anyone in my life, but like, definitely I'm going to go date Lindsay.
Oh,
Like 100% me and Jessica are going out. And having this like really not understanding exactly what and how I was different, and often thinking that I was hiding being fat, that I was passing for not, for like, I was passing as a straight size person. But that's, when your outward appearance is something.
yeah, no, for sure. I think that that's actually like a big part, like the hiding aspect.
Yeah.
Was what kind of boosted my confidence. I started Instagram when I was like really, whoa, I have something in my eye. I started Instagram when I was really, really insecure. I had just gotten diagnosed with MS.
That's so interesting.
I know, right? It's so weird. I had just gotten diagnosed with MS. I was like in a wheelchair, just learned how to walk again. Like, learned how to walk. I was still like, I looked like a deer, like a baby deer. And I just was not like doing good, but I was like, Instagram made me like get up and put my makeup on, even though I couldn't like do much. I was like, I have
So it was a motivator.
Yeah, it was like a motivator. But then on top of that, as I was like as I started to develop my niche, basically, it turned out that like being body positive and like talking about the fact that I am a chunkier girl and guys still like me and I do have a disability and I'm still hot. And so I was like, I can make that my niche, and I can be like that voice that is like, hey, you, specifically with like disabilities, I was like, hey, just because you're in a wheelchair doesn't mean you're not sexy. Or just because, and I gained a lot of weight because I was in the wheelchair.
Right.
So I was like, just because you gain weight doesn't mean that guys don't want you. And people started to like agree.
Yeah.
And I feel like that in turn increased my confidence even more than it already was by just doing it. Like by just getting up and making sure I was dressed for the day. The people being supportive, thanks guys. The people that were being supportive really did like, excuse me, like
lift you up.
Yeah, they lifted me up, and I was like, okay, yeah, they're right. I am beautiful. Like, and guys do still like me. Like, they do think I'm hot. Like, there are so many people out here that just like, that remind you kind of that you're not that much different. Like, you're different. Maybe you're different in this way, but then you're at the top of the pyramid for the people that like it that way, like, because I don't know how to explain what I'm saying, but basically, okay, here's actually a good example. I also was a dancer, and I was a plus size dancer technically, because I was bigger. I wasn't like huge by any means, but I had a butt, and like I was
I get like a little sticky about the term plus size, because I do think it means that you're wearing like a 14, 16, 18 plus. Yeah. And if you're not, because I know like in modeling and in dancing, you're a plus size if you're like a 6 or an 8. And I am here to say no. Yeah. No, you're not. Yeah. You're not plus size. Yeah. Like, I mean, love you to pieces. If you can buy pants at a J. Crew, you're not plus size. Like, fair. If you can go into an Express and you can buy a cute little dress, love you, appreciate you, your body is amazing, you are not plus size.
I consider myself technically mid-size. Yeah. Because
I'm sure that you can shop at stores.
2 plus size, because I wear a 14 in jeans. Okay. But like I couldn't squeeze into like a 12 in jeans if I wanted to. But then like shorts,
you're like on the line.
Shorts I can wear like maybe a 10 or a 12, because they're only going up like they don't have so much that they have to cover. Yeah. So I'm like, I feel like you're a true mid-size in my book, because I'm like right at the cusp of like right at the cusp.
Yeah. That is, often my terrain as well.
Yeah.
But-
It's so frustrating though too, because sometimes on Instagram I'll put like what it's like being a mid-sized girl or something like that.
And then people snap back at you.
All of my comments will be mid-size. Like, oh, this is what they consider mid-size now. And I'm like, guys, it's literally a fact. Like,
Right.
this is like the size. It's literally a size. Or like, I'm fluffier, but I still have like the right ratio, like hips.
Yeah,
like
you have a skinny little waist.
I have like the
Yeah.
right measurements. And so I'll say like, I have an hourglass frame or something like that.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, that is not an hourglass. And I'm like, it literally is the definition. Like, I did the measurements. They are, it's a fact. Like,
Right.
And so it'll be like, you can't win for losing. Like,
I get that way too. I get defensive where people will be like, oh my God, don't say that about yourself. You are not fat. You are not plus size.
yeah.
And I'm like, great. Well, I'm wearing a size 18 pants right now.
Yeah.
I can't buy clothes in a store.
There's nothing
My
wrong.
experience in life is of being bigger than all of my peers.
Yeah.
And when people are saying that to me, I like to think, if you said to me, well, I'm black, and I was like, well, you're not black.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my
What
God. I
would
know
that
what you
feel
mean.
like to you?
I know exactly. That's such a good way to put it.
Right?
Because it's like, and I do get that.
It
So
would
many
be
people,
horribly offensive.
Yeah. And so many people do say that.
Yes.
Like, oh, well,
Because
you're light.
what it does is
Yeah.
they're telling on themselves. They're saying that they think being fat or being plus size or being black is ugly, is disgusting, is sloppy, is gross, is whatever.
That's what I was just about to say.
And-
There's nothing wrong with owning what you are.
And and then they see you and you're beautiful. And so they're like, well, I don't want to have to self-reflect on my idea of
Yeah.
what it means to be fat or what it means to
Exactly.
be black.
Exactly.
And to avoid self-reflecting on that, I'm just going to say, well, I don't think you're gross, so you must not be black.
Exactly. You're not.
Or I don't think-
Exactly. I don't think you're dangerous.
So
or I
therefore
don't-
you must not be black.
Exactly. You're only.
Right.
They love that you're only half. And I'm like, but you didn't look at me when I walked in the room and think, look at that half black girl.
Right.
Like, hopefully you didn't say, look at that black girl. But
And hopefully they haven't read any history where we haven't given two shits who's part black or half black or some black.
Exactly.
And we have treated all black people as second-class citizens.
Exactly. Honestly, I love talking to you. Like, I feel like you have a really good perspective about things, and it's really refreshing to have these types of conversations. I did want to talk a little bit about you in comedy. What was your...
Yeah.
You were a comedian
I did
before.
used to tell jokes.
Yeah, tell me more about that.
I found it in college. It was like very random. I was having trouble making friends, and some folks that I kind of knew adjacently through theater were like, hey, we're going to go to this improv audition. And I was like, oh, I don't know what improv is. And they're like, it's like, whose line is it anyway? Like,
Oh,
you should
fun.
come. And I was like, well, like, can we like get dinner after? And they're like, yeah, for sure. So I really went because I wanted friends to get dinner with after.
I love that, though. That's
Yeah.
so awesome.
And the guy his name is John Survey, he's amazing. He started my college improv troupe, and he just cast every single person who showed up.
That's awesome.
So I showed up. I wouldn't say I brought anything to that audition, but I showed up. I was there physically. And then I really caught the bug, and I just really loved doing improv and a little bit of sketch comedy, but primarily improv. And I decided I was going to drop out of college and move to Chicago and pursue I don't even know if I would call it a career in improv. I just was like, this is all I want to do.
Yeah.
This is the thing, and
You're
I want to do
following
it.
your dream.
And my parents, my dad was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, you can drop out of school. All you have to do is pay me back every dollar I've ever spent on your education.
Oof.
And then he like came up with some number out of his butt, probably. And so I didn't drop out of college. That's the short version of that story.
I love that.
I didn't drop out. I called it dropping out with a diploma. So I just took as many credit hours as I could. to graduate. So I graduated college in 3 years, which I think now is impossible. I think they've literally made that impossible now, but
Yeah, it's so
I'm
hard.
old, so
hard.
it was doable then. I moved to Chicago. I didn't really know very many people. I didn't have I think I had $800 or $900 that I had saved up.
Wow.
Got a little studio apartment, got a job working at the Cheesecake Factory.
You were Penny.
Who's
You were
Penny?
Penny from Big Bang Theory. Is
that what Penny did?
Yeah. She literally
Penny's
she wanted
really
to be an
good
actress.
looking, right?
Yeah.
So I'll take that.
Yeah, you're a hottie. That's so fun.
Wait, my roommate when I lived in Chicago was on Big Bang Theory.
No fucking way.
I think she still is. Is it still on?
It's not on anymore.
Wait,
but
no, I think are they doing like a spin-off?
Young Sheldon. Yeah,
No,
they have a Young
no,
Sheldon.
not that
and
one.
Then they have
Is
a
there
new
another
one
one?
with,
Yeah, the new one. I think she's
the brother.
I should apologize. I've never seen it, but I think she's on the
That
new
is
one
disgraceful.
as well.
That's actually insane.
Yeah. And when we moved in together, I was 21 and she was 17.
What?
Yes.
That's crazy.
And her parents were so sweet and they were like, we trust you with our baby.
Wow, I love that. Honestly, that's really sweet that
So
she was
sweet.
like,
And we're still buds.
oh my gosh, that's so cool.
She's the best.
That's
But
so
like she's a
cool.
success story. Like she made it out. Like there's for every one of her, there's 1,000 of us.
Plug me in.
Yeah, well, that's yeah. There's
That's so cool.
comedy, and it was an unrequited love. You know, I loved it very much, and I don't
Well,
think it
maybe-
loved me back.
Now you're here.
With the same fervor.
Maybe somebody's gonna see this and they're gonna be like, "She's perfect. We want you to come."
I don't think that's how that works. But I had a lot of fun with it. I worked for the Second City in Chicago for many years, and then finally got cast to do their cruise ship touring companies.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I did 3 years on Norwegian Cruise Lines.
Oh, stop!
I know that is
freaking
the height
lit.
of my comedy career. I really,
That's pretty dope, though. I don't
Guys,
think
I
there's
made
probably
it.
so many people
I
that
made
didn't
it.
even make it
I
there.
know you're right, 100%.
Yeah, that's like good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it was really fun.
3 years too. How many places did you see?
I did like 4 contracts over the course of 3 years, so it wasn't like 3 years solid.
Yeah.
They only let Americans go to so like I think the rule was something like 60% of the passengers on the ship had to be American for there to be an American comedian.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would have never thought that there's some math like that going on.
It's something
for-
like that. Because, I mean, if you think about it, comedy is really cultural and it doesn't always translate.
yeah.
So even if you have a bunch of Canadians or Australians or people who speak English
That's true.
as their native language, the comedy, like, have you ever watched British comedy? It's like so different.
Yeah, I bet.
And
I haven't.
sometimes-
I've never watched that. I would.
Yeah.
have no clue.
Well, like, check out like the British Office or Monty
Yeah.
Python or some of these like
Yeah.
classic British
For
things.
sure.
And some of it translates and you're like, oh my gosh, so funny. And some of it you're like scratching your head like, what?
But they think it's hilarious.
Right,
That's
exactly.
so crazy.
And same for American humor.
Yeah, that makes so much sense now that I'm thinking about it. Now that you put it like that, that
Yeah.
totally adds up for sure.
There's a lot of cultural differences.
Yeah.
Which was so fun to explore on cruise ships.
Sure, I'm sure.
My
that sounds
first
so cool.
ship that I worked, we had 1,100 crew members. And of 1,100 crew members, I was one of 6 Americans.
Whoa,
Yeah, that was,
that's crazy.
I'll tell you that far and away, that was the best part of that job, was
Yeah.
meeting people from all over the world.
That's awesome.
And getting that perspective.
Yeah.
And getting to be a minority. That was cool.
That's
and like,
oh my god, that's such an experience.
yeah,
That's crazy.
And getting to like learn about all these different cultures and
love.
yeah, it was
Love that. That's so dope.
far and away the best part. Another
It
really
explains why you're so cool. Part of the reason you're so
yeah,
cool. for
probably.
sure.
Another really super cool part about that was that whatever country was celebrating their Independence Day, the workers from that country got to throw the party. So, like, obviously, I did the 4th of July party, but,
Stop.
like, for, like, South African Independence Day or for, like, Guatemalan Independence Day or whatever.
That's so cool.
You got to eat the food that they eat on their Independence Day. You got to learn the dance. You got to listen to the music. You got to, like, experience their celebration.
That's fucking awesome.
It was
I
so
love that.
fun.
We need to have something that's like that, like just here in
Yes.
a building somewhere. Like, why is nobody throwing a party that's just like every country's Independence Day?
It was such a great learning experience.
Oh my god, I bet. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's so dope. Yeah, that's so dope. Did you guys have fireworks for your 4th of July party? Yeah, I don't
No,
know
no.
I don't know the logistics of how that
Yeah,
would work.
definitely can't,
Yeah.
can't be doing that on a cruise ship.
Yeah, for sure.
But we had hot dogs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and bomb pops maybe? That would be
yeah,
like, yeah.
I'm not sure. And like, probably did some like country line dancing or
That's
something that
so
was
fun.
like,
I love it. That's
this
so
translates as American,
Yeah. That's so
Um,
cool though.
Yeah, I don't actually remember what we did for like that was the least interesting one
Yeah,
for me.
I bet, because you're learning about all of these cool ones. You're eating
Yes.
all this new food. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was the best.
How did you like transition into hairdressing after that?
So I was a hairdresser in Chicago before I even did cruise ships. I had been waitressing and bartending to support my burgeoning comedy career. And at a certain point, I think I was like 26 or 27, and I was like, okay, I need to build a life raft off of this island that is food service.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that feeling for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't you waitress at like Red Lobster?
Yeah, I was a waitress for quite some time. I think I was 19 when I first started, and then I went until I was 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar. And I kind of made this like list of what do I ultimately want out of a career? What do I want out of a job? And my list was that I really like being of service. I like getting to meet new people all the time. I like being creative. I think I work best in an environment where how hard I work dictates how much money I make. I think that motivates me.
I think you might be a good podcaster.
And yeah, once I made the list, I showed it to my counselor. I was going to therapy at the time. And like we chatted it up, and she was like, well, have you considered maybe going to beauty school?
Yeah.
And I was like, girl, I don't own a blow dryer. I've shaved my head 3 times in my life. Like, I don't think this is a clear fit.
That's crazy.
And she was like, well, maybe just check it out.
Yeah.
And there was a beauty school not far from my house, and I went and I checked it out, and they got me to sign up that day. I don't even know.
Wow.
I don't even know.
They honestly are so good at that.
They're probably
like,
pushy
"You should
in
come.
hindsight,
You
yeah.
you should do this now.
Because I can only imagine what I looked like at that time,
my
too.
gosh, yeah.
I think I rejected for a really long time because I thought like the beauty standard didn't include me. I just rejected it fully, like
Yeah.
full stop. I just was
Yeah.
like, well, if you don't want me, I don't want you.
Period. Honestly,
Right?
yeah, I get that feeling.
Like, so I'm never going to be Cindy Crawford or whatever the beauty standard was. And so I just sort of wore predominantly men's clothes. I had really short haircuts / shaved my head. I would dye my hair green on a whim for no reason.
Wow.
I
were
I
fun.
didn't wear makeup
fun.
very much. Like
you were just you.
yeah, I just sort of existed on this third rail. Which is actually, this is funny too. The first time I ever heard the term gender nonconforming, I was like, yes! Oh my God, finally!
That's crazy.
And then somebody explained it to me, and I was like, oh no, that's
Yeah.
actually not me. But
yeah. Do you feel like the androgynous, like,
no,
kind of?
no, I actually think I'm like pretty girly.
Yeah. You seem pretty girly.
Yeah.
I was saying more so like during that time if you were feeling like the androgynous
I
vibes.
just felt like I bought the clothes that I could buy that would fit my body, and those tended to be men's clothes.
Yeah.
And I
gotcha.
would have gladly worn women's clothes had they been available.
Yeah.
And affordable.
I'm sure that
and-
was such a shitty time. I feel like.
But now that I can wear men's or women's clothes, I do dress and dress.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like, yeah.
so what's that? I don't even know.
You just wear what you want. You're just you. You're just Mary Beth.
I guess. But yeah, because for so many years, I was like, all I want is to buy a prom dress. Like, I just want to be able, or like I was on the tennis team and I was the only girl that didn't wear a skirt. And I would like try and project this feminism of like, yeah, it's so outdated that they make you guys wear skirts. Like, I'm above that. I'm wearing shorts because obviously I'm a feminist who doesn't think
That's crazy.
right.
I
But it
so
was
see that.
not
Yeah.
the truth. Like, I will tell your listeners, I was a liar. I would have worn the skirt in a flash if somebody had been like, here's a size 18 skirt, but it just didn't exist.
Yeah.
So
That is such a. It was. I was also. I wasn't even that big growing up, but I was always like the biggest.
Yeah.
And so I was always the one that they had to go, like one time they had to
We're gonna
go to a
special order
different
it
school.
from a catalog.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
to go to a different school to get my cheer skirt. Like I didn't have a cheer skirt that day because they had to go somewhere else to pick it up because mine didn't fit, and I was like, oh, okay.
Like in middle school, the cheer coach approached me, I think in gym class, and was like, "You're really loud, fair. You're really high energy. I think you'd be a great cheerleader." And I mean, I had how old are you in middle school? Like 11, 12?
Yeah, like 12.
12-year-old me was like, if you can find me a uniform that fits, I will try out for your team. And if you can't, like, beat it. And she was like, well, of course we can't. Like, absolutely. Like, because it hadn't occurred to her. As it hadn't occurred to all these adults.
Yeah.
That, I don't know, like, why that's so frustrating for me now as an adult to look back on that experience and to be like, why didn't you guys protect me more?
I do the same thing. Like it is, I think it's
like so shitty to put a kid in the position where they have to be the
you had to
advocate
vote
for themselves.
Yeah, you had to be your own voice.
Yeah.
That's so shitty.
Yeah.
That's not right. I was in a lot of those situations myself, and especially like school mediated ones. Like when it's like in the school, I get really upset about stuff like that because like I had another like cheerleading thing. I grew up pretty like poor for a lot of my life. Not like, I don't know. It's a weird thing we had going, but a lot of it was poverty. And
Yeah, poverty.
and-
It explains some things.
yeah, I lost a library book when I was in freaking kindergarten. And also, not to like go off on a tangent, but this is how I know it's the Berenstein Bears.
And not the Berenstein.
Yeah, it is not Stain. It is Steen. I know it because I didn't turn my book in. And it was the Berenstein Bears. Like, it was
Yeah.
like they go camping or something like that. But I saw the name of that book for years. And so in middle school, they tried getting it back. Like, not getting the book back, but like getting the money. We didn't know. My parents didn't know because it was my parents' responsibility to be doing
But
things
also, like,
this.
how much money? We're talking like $1, right?
Like, it really added up.
Oh,
like,
okay. But like the initial late fee.
Yeah, the initial
was like
late
$1.
fee. Yeah, it was nothing. But like it rolled
But then
over.
they
It kept
compounded it.
Yeah, it kept getting bigger. And so by middle school, it was like it probably wasn't even that much money. It was probably like $100.
But still, you could buy how many copies of the book for that? Like, couldn't you just replace it?
Exactly.
Like,
and so this is the shitty part though. Instead of like saying like, oh, her family is like in poverty right now, like her mom's on drugs, let's not fucking like add fuel to this fire. They told me that even though I made the cheerleading squad,
that you couldn't
cheer? I couldn't cheer if my parents didn't pay off that book. So my parents had to like send me in with money,
my girl,
like $20 every day to pay that off, or they weren't gonna let me cheer in games if I didn't take it.
Wasn't there and don't know the facts. My gut is telling me that it had nothing to do with money, and it had nothing to do with that library book, and that those asshole white people just did not want you to cheer.
Honestly,
and they came up with an excuse.
Honestly, a lot of it always
they just came up with some reason.
Yeah. The school was very racist. Like,
yes.
I'm sure people watching this that know what school I'm talking about.
Because I'm sure there were white kids that were suffering from poverty that didn't have that
Oh,
same
yeah. Yeah, for sure. I
hurdle
think a lot of
placed in front of them.
a lot of it too was the fact that like my parents weren't like good parents. Like they weren't like doing what they were supposed to be doing. So instead of me being like just like, it could have been just me being the black girl, which would have been one thing, but instead it was like me, the black girl who's poor,
right. Whose parents aren't doing a great job.
Whose parents aren't doing good. Like, they didn't know that she owed money, because they probably should have known that I owed money in kindergarten. Like, they should have paid that $2 and just gotten that taken care of. So basically, I became like the problem child of the school, kind of. And so they were like kind of taking their frustration with my parents out on me.
Was it a public school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that always like baffles me. I still get mad at that sometimes because I'm like, why are you punishing me? Why am I not allowed to cheer because my parents didn't have the money? Like
1,000%.
Like I don't have the ability to do any of this. So
And like,
the protection thing,
Lindsay's
like,
mom is coming to school and being like, "My daughter just lost the
Oh my
book, and
gosh.
you're not gonna treat her this way." And then
Exactly,
they're
exactly.
like, "We're so sorry, Mrs. Cooper."
That's what runs through my
You
head
know.
now. Like, that's what runs through my head now. That's why I get so frustrated. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys weren't protecting me, because it's like
Right.
anybody else would have been like, at least. So when I went into foster care, my
How old were
adopted
you?
mom, I was 12.
Okay.
And my adopted mom was an angel. She passed away. Long story. But she, like, showed me, like, for the first time, I realized, like, holy shit, this is, like, what those kids feel like, because I was really upset that I was always a nerd in school. And I was really upset that I didn't get into any honors classes for my, I think, 8th grade year. And so I was really upset about it, because the only reason that I didn't get to was because my dad, like, had taken me out of school and made me do homeschooling, and then didn't let me do the work.
So you're
and
behind.
So yeah, and so it, like, really, like, messed up my grades. It dropped my grades because of that. And when I went home, I was, like, crying, and I was sad because I didn't get any honors classes. And she was immediately on the phone. She was like, absolutely not. You guys need to change this right now. You know
Yeah.
how smart she is. This was
Right.
not her fault. Like, all of this stuff. And I was like, damn. There was, like, I can think of 30 things on the top of my head that somebody could have called and sounded like that for me for, and nobody did.
Yeah.
Everybody was just like, whatever. And so, yeah, I feel you on the nobody, like, why wasn't
Having
anybody
an
protecting?
advocate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's such a big thing. I try my best to, like,
And you internalize it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's your fault somehow. that
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't have that advocate.
That's,
You felt like you didn't deserve it, or you weren't working hard enough, or
I am just now getting past that. And honestly, I think it's because I went no contact.
yeah.
But now that I've gotten no contact, I'm really just getting past the internalizing bit, where I'm like, this literally wasn't my fault. I just had bad parents. Like, I just had parents that weren't looking out for me. And, like, that's how it is. Like, that's just how the cookie crumbles. Like, and honestly, things went better for me than they would have had I
Stayed with the bad parents.
I went into foster care, and it wasn't a great journey, but it was definitely what I needed, because I wouldn't be here probably if I hadn't. I would probably be making some poor choices in a shitty, musty town.
You
So,
don't know.
Yeah. Well, given what I've
Or you
seen,
feel like you
yeah,
know, yeah.
given what I've seen of the location, I just don't think it's like a very, like, it's one of those places that you go when you don't want to do anything with your life, you know?
I'm from there.
Like, yeah.
Have you been to Norwalk? Sorry.
You're funny. It's Steubenville, and it's so close. Everybody thinks you're saying Stupidville.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, you might as well be, because it really is, like, not everybody, obviously. No place is just,
Sure.
like, full of nobodies, but I really do think it's somewhere that dreams go to die. Like, it's just not good. It's like there's
There
no
does-
opportunities,
Yes.
and no like-minded people that want to go chase the opportunities with you. And so you're just more likely to find somebody that's going to hold you back than to find somebody that's going to
Gonna
grow
push you.
with you.
Yeah.
Even, like, around not Cleveland, but, like, Ohio in general, like, a lot of those places, even the ones that seem like they're a bit more, like, up, like, you really have to, like, pick through the people to find somebody that's like, yeah, I think this is a good person to, like, be friends with, or, like, just has some of the same values and viewpoints and things like that as me, goals. So yeah, just don't go to Steubenville, guys. Don't even go visit. You won't like it.
I don't think I've ever been.
Yeah,
so.
it's not a great.
But
it's
I
not a
mean, I'm
great time.
from rural Ohio, so I can relate.
Yeah, you know the feeling. You know. The
I
feeling.
wanted out so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. I was like, boom,
Yeah.
the second.
As soon as you're able
Yes.
to, you're out. Like, it's time to go.
And I really am shocked that I live here again. Like, it's very surprising.
Well,
to
I'm glad
me.
you do, because
Thanks.
you do really good with my hair.
Oh, well, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I like
We haven't
talking to
even
you.
talked about your hair.
Yeah.
I've like not seen you since I did your hair.
That actually is one of the, like, final questions that I want to ask you, because I'm really curious about it. How was, like, beauty school in teaching you about black hair and different textures in general? Did they teach
I
you
would
much?
say, I don't want to say terrible. I would give them like maybe a 3 out of 10 because I had some, I did have black instructors, and I had some instructors that really always made this huge effort to make it very inclusive.
I love that.
But it was a colorblind framing.
Yeah.
Where it was like, coarse textured hair can happen in anybody. These textures present themselves in Scottish women, in African women, in Filipino women, in Puerto Rican women, which...
So like maybe a little bit overly inclusive.
In
instead of
fairness,
teaching
that's
you.
true. But like in the United States, when we're talking about specific textures, we are predominantly talking about black
we're talking
women.
about black women for sure.
Or mixed race women. And like, so that felt a little bit whitewashed.
Yeah.
And then we had like 1 week of braiding.
Damn.
I mean, like less than.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Probably less than 1 week of actually talking about natural hairstyles and how to do it. So I would
think that's
say
really interesting.
hard garbage. But I don't want to say in fairness, but the state board exam is what they are teaching you to pass.
Yeah, and braiding.
And the state board exam doesn't have relaxing. It doesn't have braiding. It doesn't have any natural hair styling.
That's something that I find
At all.
interesting. Like that's kind of where I was headed with this, because a lot, like, so obviously you can't do hair and stuff if you don't go to school for it.
Right.
But then a lot of the schools don't teach that stuff.
Right.
And so a lot of black women end up just either learning how to do it themselves or like
Ohio-
they start their own like little like home salons type of deal.
Ohio just changed the law like literally this year
Oh, really?
to allow people who do natural hairstyling to exist in a salon space professionally without having to get their cause license, I believe.
I love that so much.
And they can do shampoos and blow dries. They can do natural styling services.
That's freaking awesome.
They're still not licensed to cut color, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But that's awesome.
But it's still
Like,
a
that's
step.
so yeah,
Like, it's
that's
something.
that's a big step, honestly.
And I hope
because
I'm
what I
quoting
was
that right.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is, it kind of puts them in jeopardy of like losing their income. Like if they do start like those braiding businesses or like doing women's hair naturally, to where women don't have to damage or destroy their hair, then they're at risk of like either losing all of their income or like getting prosecuted in some way for freaking just doing something that they're
I
not
think
teaching
there's
you.
still racism that's baked in because you still have a state governing body that comes and inspects everyone's salons and decides who's up to snuff and who's not.
Yeah.
And I don't think that white businesses are having the same level of scrutiny as like an Asian nail salon has a higher level of scrutiny about their cleanliness.
That's crazy. That makes sense.
Yes. And like, I don't think there's a fairness across the board.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen everything or I don't know everything, but
Yeah,
that's
no,
my
I get what you're
sense
saying. That is really,
that
that's
every
interesting to
time
think about.
a massage parlor gets shut down for being unclean or inappropriate, it's always Asian owned.
Yeah.
Like universally. And
Yeah.
what a coincidence.
Yeah, that is very coincidental.
What a coincidence that
Very
the only
interesting.
unclean or unsavory massage places are owned by Asian people. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
No,
just
for sure.
based on anecdotal, I'm like, well, it still doesn't seem. And then I've had state board come in and be like, oh, hey, here's like 7 things I just need you to tidy up real quick before I look.
That's crazy.
You know, and it is little stuff, and I appreciate.
Yeah, no. That's not
Like,
the crazy
the
part. But
grace.
just like they're not going to
But
get that grace.
I also
they're not
feel
giving
like
that list to other.
whenever I deal with any sort of like enforcement, I recognize the privilege of looking like their mom.
Yeah, for sure. That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense.
So I don't know. That's kind of a tangent to
Yeah,
what you
no,
asked
that
about.
was-
But I know that styling African American hair stresses a lot of white stylists out. Huge.
Yeah.
Because we just don't have enough training.
For
And
sure.
we don't want to be assholes, and we don't want to be like, I'm so sorry I can't do your hair today.
Yeah. Or instead, like another bad part about it is that sometimes instead of saying like I can't do your hair today, they'll do it and then they'll mess it up, and that's
Oh,
even worse.
yeah,
I've had
yeah.
my hair
Yeah.
destroyed.
Yes.
Just like with thinning shears. Oh,
Ooh, yeah.
it was a bad time.
Yeah.
She's good now though. Thank God. We're doing good. Mary Beth doesn't do things like that.
I didn't.
Yeah, it was actually insane. Like
But,
there was
like,
like a
yeah.
whole chunk of my hair. It was like this long.
I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is to that.
No, there is no right answer. I was just curious.
Well, but I mean, it would be nice to have some wonderful solution where we were all trained perfectly
Yeah.
to do everybody's hair, but it's just not true. And
Yeah.
and coming out of school, man, I messed up so many people's hair. Like,
I fully get it. I've messed up so many podcast episodes. like there's a learning curve for everything.
but luckily you get to like go back and edit,
yeah,
right?
that is true.
You
That is
know?
true. Yeah.
Sometimes we do too.
Thank God for editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes things get long. That's all I'll say. Things can go very long.
My mentor used to say, it's not a mistake until they leave. So as long as they're still here in the salon, we can fix it.
Love it. Yep,
And I do try to live by that. But
for sure.
sometimes it's just a mistake.
Sometimes it just happens.
Yes. It's not always perfect.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me. I've really enjoyed our conversation. I think you're so interesting to talk to, honestly. I'm sure everybody's going to like really love this episode because I feel like you've had a really great conversation, and I appreciate you for coming on and talking to me.
Thank you for having me. This
Of
was like
course.
very unexpected and a pleasant surprise.
Awesome. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching Dysfunctional Alliance. I hope you guys had as much fun with this episode as I did. I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.